Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show Fight Against COVID 19. Thank you for liking our show and making it successful. We have called many people here who have talked about their unsung hero fight, trying to do things behind the scene and helping the healthcare warriors in front line. We have many such people, either they're making masks or they're helping people who are hungry, supporting small businesses, supporting daycares, frontline fighters, and many more. We have talked to many people around the states, in Texas, in Atlanta, in Ohio, in Michigan, and in Boston. Today we have a special guest, an unsung hero who's working behind the scenes and have a wonderful team in Boston. Her name is Andrea. Welcome, Andrea.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being in the show. So, Andrea, tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do before we go into what you're doing for COVID.
Yeah, of course. Well, first of all, thank you so much. So I am right outside of Boston, about 40 minutes in a town called Shrewsbury. I'm actually a real estate agent. I own a brokerage in town. So what happened was I created a Facebook group about 6 weeks ago. And the group was basically just to help the elderly and anyone that needed help that might be quarantined. And then all of a sudden, I just started getting calls, and people said, "Hey, can you help us find masks? We need, supplies and all that." And I just started reaching out to my network, and all of a sudden, my little group of 10 people grew to almost 2,000 in the Facebook group.
2,000 people
Yeah.
in your group? Wow,
Yeah,
that's amazing.
amazing.
So, Andrea, you said you're a real estate agent, and basically, so how did you start that? What made you decide to start this group?
So I actually run a nonprofit as well,
Okay.
along with real estate. So, I'm used to trying to coordinate things and help people in need. And then when I found out, the lack of PPE, I just decided to put it out there on Facebook saying, "Hey, who can help us get these supplies?" And then literally from the minute I put it out there, supplies started rolling in. And then the need was greater and greater as this grew over the last 6 weeks.
And so you said just through your network, you made almost 22,000 volunteers. How do you manage that? It must be really so many people. How do you organize all this?
I have to tell you, it's definitely an endeavor like I've never taken on before because the need is just so great. So, I'm lucky within that group to have people that take over different departments. So we have women that take over the handmade sewing department. We have an area where we feed the frontline workers, the first responders. So we're always sending meals into the hospitals, in nursing homes. So I have people that handle that. But I handle mostly the PPE and the fundraising.
So you basically are doing multiple things. Tell us what other things like you said mass. So tell us different things that this group is doing.
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty amazing. So basically, obviously, the PPE is the most important. So we started a GoFundMe and a Facebook fundraiser. We've raised almost $60,000 in the last month.
$60,000.
Yep,
Amazing. Yeah.
we're almost at 60,000. We actually just donated our 10,000th mask, the
Wow.
N95 and the
10,000.
KN95.
I'm just very, just shocked with the numbers. It's amazing.
Every time I say it, I'm shocked too. So, between masks and gloves and gowns and cleaning supplies, it's never ending. And now, we're getting donation of face shields. I just got a donation of 1,000 the other day. And tons of local businesses are stepping up because they really want to get involved and do whatever they can to help.
And so you said that mass PPE, but then you also said something about providing food. So how do you do that?
Yeah, so basically we started another GoFundMe for that. And we also I'm lucky to have a lot of local businesses that are all restaurateurs. So, they always say, "Hey, Andrea, how can we help?" And basically we reach out to all of the different departments and we say, "Hey, we're going to send you a meal tonight." And we just coordinate with the hospital to send them like a nice meal.
How many, like, can you give examples of first of all, some of the hospitals that you have supported and then the restaurants?
Of course. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So UMass is obviously one of the biggest out here in Worcester and St. Bede's. So those are the two major hospitals. And we go as far as Milford, Mass. We've gone into Boston. We go into Marlborough, nursing homes. We go to the police and fire stations, really anywhere that, can help the frontline workers.
So, our show basically helps, people connect people. The
Yes.
way we are trying to do is create awareness, and basically, there's so many groups doing this. So, what we did was maybe we said, let's start a show which can connect people, and people know exactly, maybe in their area, there's another group that is doing that, and you guys can connect. How
Yep.
can people reach out to you either in the form of donation or just trying to connect?
Yeah, I love that. And actually, a lot of people have connected. So if I think you're going to post a link to our Facebook
Yeah,
group.
let's pull up the Facebook page.
Yep. So they can always contact me directly. Again, my name's Andrea Castanetti. They can find me on Facebook as well.
Yeah, and you
And
can see your page right there.
yep, which is perfect. And we have people from all areas, and other states join us, and they want to basically duplicate our efforts, which I love. And I'm more than happy to share distributor information in ways that we've been able to do it.
And what's the page name, if you can please tell us, the viewers on Facebook?
Yeah, so coronavirus quarantine, who needs assistance? And it's Shrewsbury, Mass, and nearby towns.
Okay.
So basically, anyone that needs help, we're trying to reach as many people as we possibly can.
And so people can either donate, they can donate things for mask or money or help in the food delivery or things like that, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we have a GoFundMe, and if you just search my name, Andrea Castanetti, that will come up, and that's for all the PPE. We have a lot of things going on, and we also have an Amazon wish list where we collect snacks and we send them to all the hospitals and nurses. These nurses and doctors are working 12-hour shifts or more, and they don't have time to go and stop and eat. So we're trying to equip their break rooms with food and anything that they need to make their life a little easier.
Yeah, so I know that you already had a nonprofit, but what made you, what motivates you to do all this? Like it's very selfless and not looking for accolades and trying to get all that limelight. Why do you do it?
Yeah, really my main motivation in life is just to help people. And I really like to do it behind the scenes. I'm just really lucky to have a great group of people that whenever I need something, they step right up the second I ask. Yeah. So, if we have it, you might as well do it.
Yeah. And so, in terms of what are some of the challenges? I mean, of course, you are managing a group of 2,000, but what are some of the challenges that you have to face?
It's really tough because this stuff is not cheap. So, we just have to continually raise money. We have to, vet all the sources and make sure we're getting, quality products because we're not going to send in counterfeit products to the hospitals and nursing homes. And then it's just a matter of just getting it out there and staying organized. And it's just a never ending battle. Mm-hmm. I mean, I got 1,000 masks in the other day and, they're already gone. So now we're waiting. Yeah, we're waiting for the next order to come in. And it's just, it's a revolving door and there's just such a desperate need for it.
So is it like a homemade mask or is it also the surgical mask or what kind of ways or different masks that you're making?
Yeah, so I've actually learned a lot about masks over the last 6 weeks. I never knew what an N95 mask was. I do know they're very hard to get and we're lucky to get them. So N95, the KN95, the surgical masks, and then we have a team. They've made over 4,000 handmade masks and hair caps. So, there's just always some type of mask that's needed. And then the face shield. And, there's just a million products that are out there that are in desperate need.
And, in terms of, like you said, you gave some examples of the hospitals. What are some of the restaurants that are supporting you and you're supporting them indirectly?
Yeah, so we actually, a friend of mine owns, it's called Buck's Whiskey and Burger Bar, and they just donated 500 meals last night.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
So he had, selfless. Amazing. Yep. And then, a couple of my other girlfriends, they own this place called Rosalina's Kitchen, and they're always sending, homemade Italian meals to the hospitals and the facilities managers. Texas Roadhouse donated 80 meals to the facilities workers at UMass today. Napoli Deli in Shrewsbury is always donating, as well as Ty and I in Shrewsbury.
Yeah. And you said that you have a team of people who's actually helping you. Do you want to name some who you think are like, I'm sure there's so many, but.
Yeah, and I'm not playing favorites, so whoever's won, make sure they're not my favorites. But, there's a woman, Diane, and her husband, and she is nonstop in the car, picking up, dropping off. Brenda Stewart, she's basically heading up the whole sewing department. She sews from the minute she gets up in the morning to the minute she goes to bed. These two women, Shannon and Janet, are running the GoFundMe along with Bushra Khalid to send out all the meals. It's just such a team effort, and I really say it just takes a village, to get things, going.
Yeah. So what motivates these people? Like, how do you connect them together? Like, try to keep them going.
Yeah, and I'm all about positivity. I know everyone's scared and depressed and anxious, and I really just try to be as positive as possible and keep the morale going. And I really think when we share our pictures and videos in our Facebook group, it just kind of motivates people to say, wow, I really am making a difference. There's a big difference than just sending a check in or really seeing where your money is going to these doctors and nurses that are just continually sending us thank yous. And, they know we're here for them. And it just motivates everybody.
I know that the reason I said that, I know I had to ask you to come on the show. You said you don't really like to go to the show.
Yeah.
So this is great. And the reason you actually agreed that, basically, as we told you, that this is basically trying to connect people and so that people can reach out to you. So that, hopefully, knowing now this group, people can reach out to you through this interview. Anything that you want to tell the viewers in this situation?
Of course, people think that they can't make a difference. And they think that, if they don't have $1,000 to donate, it's not going to make a difference. I always say I have 5,000 friends on Facebook. If everyone donated just $1, think of what I can do with $5,000 and what I can buy. And, if you can't donate financially, just join us. If you need some motivation or you need some positivity, really come into this group and, you can just sit back, in the background and just watch. And I really think it will help us all get through this because we really are in this together.
Yeah. So, Andrea, you are doing such a selfless work. First of all, I want to really thank you from our show, but all the people who are watching on the side of, all the viewers, because, you're organizing multiple different things, not just masks, but many, many things together. So that's amazing.
I appreciate that.
And really, really selfless, helping those frontline viewers. Is this motivation in your life that made you go into nonprofit and helping people? Is there somebody who told, basically motivate or is your, mentor?
Yeah, I really just think I was born this way. It's always been my goal to just make people happy and make people feel good. And, if I know I can change even one person's life, it just makes me realize what my purpose here is. So if I have it, I might as well use it.
No, that's great, Andrea. First of all, really appreciate for coming here and spreading the word again. Can you please tell the viewers again the name of your Facebook page so that people can reach out to you?
Absolutely, and they can add me personally on Facebook too. So it's Andrea Castanetti, and it's the Coronavirus Quarantine Assistance, Shrewsbury, Mass, and beyond.
So again, Andrea, thank you so much for coming to the show. We really, really appreciate all the good work you're doing to help the frontline workers. It's an amazing feeling, really. And so before I go, the last question is, how do you feel when you actually, when you get those messages come from hospitals and things like that? How do you feel?
Yeah, I have to be honest, it's definitely draining when you hear people with despair and basically begging for help. And that's what motivates me to say, listen, I need to do whatever it takes to get this PPE in their hands. And then when you just, hand that off and they send that message like, thank you so much, or a parent that's begging you for some PPE for their son or daughter, if I'm in that position where I can help, I better use it. So, I feel good that I'm doing my part and doing what I should be doing.
Andrea, thank you so much again coming to the show, and to our viewers, stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy. Thank you, Andrea. Have a good night.
You too.